Hi, I'm Fontana, and I'm the author of Gods of the Bay, which is a finalist in the fantasy category for the 2021 Cal Awards. The book follows Katie Russo, who grew up on the East End of Long Island. When she was a child, she spent most of her time outside, where she received visions of things to come. As a teen, she explored the Great South Bay and its murky waters, as well as Fire Island. Certain events convinced her to move away from the coast when she enters adulthood, but the memories of Fire Island and the Great South Bay still continue to haunt her, and she must come to terms with her past, as well as the changes in the world around her. The excerpt I'm reading today is when Katie first realizes that there may be more than one reason why adults would do something, and some of those reasons can be awful. I listened to the murmuring of the water for a while. This time, I didn't hear the whispering or see any new things. After I stood up, I noticed my shorts were wet. I climbed back onto the dock and grabbed my sandals. I wiped the mud from my feet on the grass as I walked up to the deck. I was about to open the back door, but stopped because I heard my mother's voice. I stood still and listened. It sounded as if she was on the phone with somebody, probably my aunt who lived in the neighborhood just north of us. He threatened Charlie. To my surprise, another voice spoke, one that was only vaguely familiar. I tiptoed towards the open window so I could hear better. "Francis, you know how lawyers are. He's terrified of Charlie." "I don't know why," my mother said. "Think about it. He has a mulatto wife." I knew that word, and it wasn't a nice one. I decided right then that I didn't particularly care for the speaker. I leaned closer to the window to see who it was. Our nosy neighbor, Mrs. Weber, was sitting across the kitchen table from my mother, a cup of coffee in her hand. Now I wasn't surprised. I almost missed my mother's reply, but managed to hear it anyway. "What does that have to do with anything?" my mother asked. A snort erupted from the other woman. "Someone of mixed races living here on our street. Michael was furious when he found out." My mother didn't reply right away. Then she said, "No wonder none of us has seen her." Mrs. Weber laughed. "Dear, you lived here long enough to know Herman Steege. We all know he doesn't care about what the neighbors think." I thought Mrs. Weber had a point. Maybe that lady, his wife, was stuck in the house. Maybe he was as mean to her as he was to everyone else. Maybe the hedges weren't there just to keep other people out. That thought bothered me, and I decided I didn't want to hear any more of Mrs. Weber's nasty talk, or to think about the lady who never left the house. Thanks for watching. For more information, you can visit my website at jofontana.com.